good afternoon, everyone. I'm Captain Lee. I'm the commanding officer of the Recruitment Section. With me today are...
My name is Lieutenant Tiffany Reed from the Recruitment Section.
And I'm Officer Ray Martinez from the Recruitment Section.
Well, we want to congratulate everyone that got hired yesterday. We hired 450 people. They just joined our Blue family.
Yes.
So guys, just welcome to the Blue family, of course, and don't forget that you guys can also join our Blue family. The deadline for the next police officer exam will be May 4th. And don't forget, guys, registration is now free. So please go online and you can register for our exam.
And today we are here live from One Police Plaza. We're going to have a very, very special guest, Chief of Community Affairs, Chief Madrid, is going to be joining us today. He's going to be speaking to us about his incredible career so far, and also going to speak to us about the police officer exam that's currently open. So we're going to tackle some questions, some recently asked questions.
Well, we'll do that after we speak to Chief Madrid.
We speak to Chief Madrid.
So, with no further ado, here is Chief Madrid, Chief of Community Affairs.
Hi.
Hello, Chief.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Sit right here.
Sit right here.
All right.
Hi, Chief. Thank you so much for joining us. I know that you have a very busy schedule. You just came from 127 Penn?
Yes, I was there doing a motorcycle safety forum, speaking with the motorcycle community, motorcycle riders and motorcycle enthusiasts. It was good. It was a very, very productive forum.
Oh, very good. I saw you had your members only jacket. You took it off for our Instagram?
Yeah.
You had to switch it up?
I had my Alpha Rider vest on. You know, I went out there and I represented the motorcycle, the SUV and car clubs. So I wore my vest just to represent.
Gotcha. I want to take us back a little bit and go back to when you took the police officer exam. So when did you decide to take it, or what made you want to take the police officer exam?
I was sitting inside of Andrew Jackson High School out in Queens, and police officers came into school. They spoke about the police department, and they gave all the students sitting at their desk a little card to fill out to take the police test. And I wound up filling it out. I said, hey, I'll try it out. What's the worst that could happen? And I filled it out, and I wound up taking the test, and I actually scored pretty well on the test.
One other question, like when you took the exam, do you remember how often they gave the police officer exam?
I think they gave it a little bit, not as frequent. I think it was maybe every 2 years, 3 years. I mean, you're going well over 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So I think it was like every 2 years. I don't remember the frequency.
Well, that's why I think it's very important for everybody to sign up for the test today. Our last exam was 2 years ago, but you never know when the next one is going to be. And like Chief Madrid just said, back then it was given less frequently. And we don't have anything on schedule for whenever the next exam is going to be. So take advantage of this opportunity and sign up. So after you took the exam, well, you signed up while you were in high school, right?
Signed up when I was in high school. I took it once in high school. Then I wound up taking it a second time because I was a little, I might have been a little shy of the age requirement when I took it the first time. So I said, let me take it again because I don't know if I was old enough. So I wound up taking it again, and when I took it the second time, I was about 18 years old when I took it the second time. And 2 years later, I was in the police academy.
Oh, wow.
So after the police academy, where did you go from then?
I started my career in Queens. I went to the 110 precinct, and I spent about 6.5 years there doing different assignments before I was promoted to sergeant.
Okay.
And then from sergeant, where were you assigned at that time?
When I made sergeant, I went to the 77th precinct, and I did 3 years there. I made lieutenant. I went to the 67th precinct for 2 years. I made captain, and when I made captain, I went to the 72nd precinct. And as a captain, I moved around from a few precincts. I worked in the 72nd in Sunset Park. I worked in the 60th precinct in Coney Island. I worked in the 70th precinct in Flatbush. And then for a short time, I was the commanding officer of Brooklyn South Task Force. And then in January 2006, I took over as the commanding officer of the 7-3 precinct.
That's awesome. So let's go back. You worked in a lot of places throughout the ranks. Is there anything that motivated you to climb the ranks, or it was just something you felt like, I could do this, let me do it?
Well, I think a big part of me just knew I could do it. When I came in the police department, I mean, my goal when I entered the police department 30 years ago tomorrow. Tomorrow's my anniversary.
Yes.
When I entered the police department, I think my dream was to be a detective. And I think I got every rank but detective. I took the first sergeant's test when I had 2 years on the job, and I really didn't apply myself, and I actually made the sergeant's list. And I kind of kicked at myself. I said, I should have applied myself. I should have put a little more effort into it. So the second time around, I put a lot of effort into it, and I scored very well. And then after that, I just applied myself to every promotional exam. So lieutenants and captains, I scored very well on both of those. And here I am.
So did someone on the job mentor you? Was it someone, that was there assisting you along the way to kind of,
I was a first-generation police officer in my family. There was nobody in my family who was ever in this department. Actually, two of my brothers followed behind me and joined the department. One is since retired. One of them is a lieutenant in the department. And I had many people who inspired me and motivated me through the ranks. One of the first people who really encouraged me to study was a guy named Timmy Trainer. He retired, he's a retired chief. But me and Timmy came out the same class, and Timmy made sergeant on the first go-round. And he really encouraged me to study the second time. He knew I was on the list, and he was really someone who said, hey man, study, man. You made the list the first time. You definitely could make it this time around. Just study, study, study. And I studied, and he was very helpful. He was very helpful, very encouraging. A lot of the cops who I worked with who also did get promoted to sergeant, we were encouraging each other, officers in the 110 precinct, and that was a big help.
That's good. So I want to get to the work that you do in the community affairs, and I know that you do a lot of mentoring, and it goes back to when you were the commanding officer of Brooklyn North. But as a chief, or just when you were climbing up, when did you realize that this rank and the status that you've gotten is kind of bigger than yourself? Like we climb up the ranks because we want to do it for ourselves, and then it gets to a point where we're like, this is not just about me anymore. I'm influencing people, and people are going to follow my footsteps. When did you realize that?
I realized that when I was a police officer. Actually, one of the officers who works for me in my office is someone I mentored when he was 13 years old, and now he's about 15 years on the job, and I mentored him. And just along the way, every rank, when I was a sergeant in 7-7, I was the original school sergeant in 7-7, and there were children that I mentored out there in Crown Heights, and this is going back 1998, 99, 2000, that I still have a relationship with. I'm actually mentoring their children. Their children come to my office and are involved in some of the things that I do in the community. So just at every rank, if I just stopped and looked at my career through every rank, there's people who came into my life, I came into their life. I had an opportunity to mentor them. And one thing that's powerful about mentoring somebody, eventually they start mentoring you and they start teaching you things. So everybody who I had an opportunity to work with, mentor and teach, at some point along the line, they wound up becoming a teacher and start showing me things. A lot of the young people I mentor, even today, they're the ones that show me all this Snapchat and TikTok. So they're mentoring me at the same time, showing me, hey, this is what's current. This is what's going on with young people. This is what we value right now. So it's a two-way street.
Oh, that's amazing. That's good.
So what advice would you give people that are thinking about taking the test but kind of are unsure or on the fence at this point?
Well, if you're thinking about taking the test, I think that's enough for you to take the test. First of all, life is about options. You always have to set yourself up and have strong options. And I think this career right here is a very strong option. People know that you got the solid pay, solid retirement, solid opportunity, and of course there's great opportunity to advance. Taking the test It's a few hours, one day, a few hours that you'll use to take the test. And a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, a great opportunity may fall in your lap. And you just don't know where your life is going to be. You may try to open a business. You may try to go to school and, you know, find a career in one path, but it may not work out. In this department, we offer so many different career opportunities and career paths. Attorneys, accountants, carpenters, pilots, dog handlers, you know, community affairs, patrol cops, transit officers, our housing officers, intelligence division, our detectives. And I can keep naming and naming and naming, because there's so many different careers. We have our own journalists, our own newspaper, our own editors. There's so many things that you could do in this department. And it's just a great opportunity. And again, a great opportunity, many advantages. You get to meet many great people, and you get a steady paycheck, steady health benefits, and great retirement benefits. This is a great job opportunity for anyone,
It definitely is. I'm sure you never imagined that you were going to be the Chief of Community Affairs when you first took the test.
Never.
And look at you now.
Never would imagine that I'd be sitting here in a position where I could help so many people. And not only do I get to help so many people, I have an opportunity to travel all around the city. I've gotten an opportunity to travel with this job. I've been to other states, other countries, because of the opportunities this job provided me. And it really is, there's so many opportunities that people who are considering something different could take with this job. They could take so many different, there's so many opportunities that they could take, so many advantages that could take in this department.
Absolutely. So we know in this department we have over 350 units. So there's so many things that different folks could do. And you know, so it's a great opportunity. Take the exam, guys. Like we always say, the exam, the registration period will be over this May, so May the 4th. So please, guys, just register for the exam, and the exam will be sometime given in June.
So before we close off, I know people know that you're the Chief of Community Affairs, and they have an idea of what that is, but do you want to touch a little bit on what your bureau is doing now?
Absolutely. Just
Thank you.
for all our viewers, Community Affairs is about bridging the divide, bridging the gap between police and community. And the Community Affairs Bureau is a powerful resource in this department. And I really want people in the community to know that if you need help, if you're facing challenges, you know, the Community Affairs Bureau can provide a lot of resources, a lot of assistance. Every day when I go in the field, I have different partners, community people, not-for-profits, organizations, health and hospital. They're always handing me their card. They're always saying, hey, if you have anybody who needs help, you can direct them towards us. And that's what it's about. For me, it's about strengthening those partnerships, knowing where resources are, and making sure we get our community to those resources. Today, we took a truckload of food up to the Throgsnick houses in the Bronx.
Oh, that's amazing.
Right, just to make sure people who are dealing with food insecurities can receive a little assistance. We've been doing this for weeks now. We've been taking food supplies all over this city, and it's because of our partnerships with community organizations that have the resources for food, but don't have the resources to disseminate it throughout the city. That's where Community Affairs comes in. We get the food and we get it out to the people who need it.
That is amazing. That's such great work. I hope you realize the impact that you're having on the city and to the youth out there. I know you also do so much work with them, and to the rest of us, and just influencing us and making us also want to get involved in the work that you're doing. So thank you so much, Chief.
Thank you.
We really appreciate having you. We're a little starstruck. Having Chief Madrid.
But for the youth, we do have the Youth Center at 127 Pennsylvania Avenue in Brooklyn. We do so many programs in there, academics, financial programs, wig making programs, something that we're starting to do, a wig making program. So you can learn how to make a wig.
Oh, wow, that's good.
To, you know, you can sell the wig for young people, they can sell it. This is the way you start your businesses. You can sell your wig, you can make it for yourself. You know, all of our athletic programs, we're in the process of building a state-of-the-art music studio in there.
Oh, wow.
One day, we're gonna wind up having a platinum plaque on the wall.
Yes, you
Because
will.
someone's gonna come in there and record a record, and it's gonna go platinum, and we're gonna get our platinum plaque for the Police Youth Center. So the Police Youth Center is your center. We will be doing instructions to how to take the police exam in the Youth Center before the police test.
Yes.
And it's just a great place to bring young people, seniors, whoever wants to come. We have a workout center there that's free to the community. So take advantage of 127 Pennsylvania Avenue, the NYPD Community Center.
Absolutely. We actually do our tutorings at that location every Sunday and as well as every Tuesday, guys.
And please take advantage of of a community center. I know growing up, I wish I had a police community center,
Yeah.
but I was lucky enough to have a non-for-profit community center near me, and they were the ones that steered me in the right direction. I don't know if I would be here if it wasn't for the people that dedicate their time and effort to the youth that need it. So I know I appreciate it, and I really, really admire the work that they're doing at 127 Penn, and just keep it up. And definitely, people, take advantage of the services that are offered there, because it will help you.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much,
Thank
Chief.
you.
Thanks
Thank you for
coming.
having me.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely. So
Thank
we're going
you.
to go on and answer some recruitment questions as the chief walks out, or you want to help answer some
Is
questions?
there a question for me there? If not, Joe?
I don't know. Let's see.
Deadline for the exam is May 4th, next week, May 4th.
Yeah.
All right.
See. If you have any questions about the exam, you can contact the recruitment section at 212-RECRUIT. 212-RECRUIT, or visit us on any of our social media platforms at NYPD Recruit. When is the exam being offered? We are offering it, June 15th. It's going to begin, and you'll receive an email from DCAS telling you where and when to go to take your exam.
So make sure you guys look out for that email or something in the mail. It will be given about 2 weeks before the exam. Okay, so what is the starting salary for the recruits, actually, for cops? It's $42,500, so $42,500.
That's your base salary.
Base salary,
Definitely
correct.
have potential to make more.
Absolutely.
How many years do you have to work until you retire? So you have to work now 25 years, I
20
believe.
So it's 22 and a half, and then if you stay to 25, you get the COLA, the cost of living adjustment.
There you go.
How do I become a boss?
You want to answer that, Chief?
I got two bosses here. The first three ranks, sergeant, lieutenant, and captain, are promotional exams, 100-question promotional test that tests different skills, your knowledge of the patrol guide, knowledge of law, knowledge of administrative guide, and a few, typical college type of testing of attributes, just the ability to organize reports, grammar, the ability to organize maps and spatial orientation, things like that.
So you got to pass those tests, got a passing score of 70 to become a sergeant, and then you could take a lieutenant's exam, become a lieutenant.
Yep.
Same for captain.
How many credits do you need? So to start the process for the NYPD, you actually need 45 college credits. But to be hired, you need 60 college credits from an accredited college. So how long does it take to actually become an officer? So typically after you take the exam, it takes about 9 to 12 months to get your score from DCAS and for it to be finalized. At that point, it takes about 6 months to a year.
If you are 19 years of age, you could definitely take the exam. The exam is open for anybody between the ages of 17 and a half and up until your 35th birthday, you could take the exam. If you have military and you're over the age of 35, they actually adjust your age with the years you served in the military.
So in order to be hired, you have to be at least 21 years old.
So our exam is 80 questions. We're not sure if that's going to change, but as of right now, it's 80 questions, and you have to get an answer.
About 60, correct?
Yes, there you go. So right now, if you want to get hired, you do have to move into the city, the 5 boroughs, or the surrounding counties. So that's Nassau, Suffolk, Westchester, Putnam, Rockland, or Orange. And if you live outside of that area, you have 30 days after your hire to move into one of those locations.
If I have any questions, or if you guys have any questions in regards to anything, you guys could call 212-RECRUIT, or you could DM us on our Instagram, NYPD Recruit
Or you could call Chief Madrid.
Just-
This is right.
I get calls every day, emails every day at the Community Affairs Office, which is 646-610-5323, or you can reach out to Community Affairs through NYPD Community Affairs Bureau at Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram.
There you go.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you so
Chief
much,
Madrid.
Chief Madrid.
Thanks for
Thank you.
helping answer some questions. We actually are offering some tutoring sessions. We mentioned it in the past, and if you visit our Instagram page, you have all the locations and the times. What are the locations?
So the locations, we actually have it at 127 Pennsylvania in Brooklyn. We have it at Monroe College in the Bronx. We also have it at our old police academy in Manhattan and some locations in Queens as well. So if you guys follow us on Instagram, you guys will be able to see it. Oh, hi, Ray.
Hi, I'm
Welcome,
back.
Officer Martinez.
Hi, Officer Martinez.
That was a good interview with Chief Madrid.
It definitely
Yes, it
It
was.
was great for him to join us. Thank you so much, Chief. Oh, so for anyone who paid for the exam, DCAS is offering refunds. So you should have got an email from DCAS stating that you are going to get a refund. So just keep checking your accounts. If you pay with a credit card, it'll go back to your credit card and so on.
Okay, so what should I do in order to get ready for the physical part of the exam? So after you take your police officer exam and you pass, then when your process starts, you have to do a physical part. So prior to that, it's only the written exam, guys, so no worries.
But I think to get ready, you have to do some cardio.
Absolutely.
I know none of us like to run, but we definitely did before we joined the academy. I know I started to take stairs up 14 flights every day when I was going up to work, just to develop stronger
Endurance.
lungs, yeah, and to get some endurance. Do push-ups at home, do sit-ups, time yourself. We're actually thinking about maybe writing something out and putting it up on our website, nypdrecruit.com, to kind of guide you on how to get ready for the police academy and for your physical part of the process.
Absolutely.
And we also have a video of the JSD on our social medias, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We have a video of our job standard test. Our very fine officer, Officer Brathwaite, was a brave officer that did the video, and she was very good, so definitely watch the video.
But as you guys know, it's getting warm outside, so we can always just run outside, guys. It's great weather.
So the steps after taking the exam, once you take the police officer exam and you score at least 70, it's going to put you on a civil service list, depending on your score. The higher on the list you are, the faster you'll be processed. Once you, the candidate relations starts processing the list, they will send you an email for a portal. That's where you're going to update all your information. When you do qualify, meaning you have age, you have at least 45 college credits, and so on, they're going to start the process of hiring. So you will do your initial medical, then JST, psychological, and so on. So it is a process.
Absolutely.
Oh, we have one question coming in. What are the blue stripes on the sleeves?
Oh, so these.
Yeah.
This actually means how much time you have on. So if you have one, that means you have between 5 and, so you have no, if you see someone with none, that means they have under 5 years. One means between 5 and 9 years, and then so on and so forth.
Yes.
So every time you see a stripe, that means they have 5 to 10 years. Every stripe counts for 5 years. If you're over the rank of lieutenant, you don't have to wear them anymore. So I don't have less than 5 years on that. But it's just so people don't know how old I am.
Oh my God.
So, go ahead.
So when is that next academy class and how many recruits? We're not sure as of yet. When we get more information, you'll be the first ones to know, trust us. We'll put it out there. So is it normal to be on psych hold or psych review? Yes, it is. Sometimes we just need more information in regards to a certain situation, so you just have to provide that to the psych department or to your investigator.
So if you're in the process of being hired and you cannot continue the process, either you're in school or any other reasons, you will contact Candidate Relations at 718-312-4226, and they will put your case on hold until you're ready to resume your case. Another great question, just like the one that I just answered before, if you're going to withdraw your application, meaning you are in the process of getting hired, you will contact Candidate Relations at 718-312-4226, and they'll be more than happy to assist you.
So guys, you should always register for the exam because you just never know where your life might be the time that they call you. So the NYPD is a steady income, is a steady job. So if you take the exam and you decide not to become a cop, that's fine. But you should still take the exam in order to have the option whether or not you want to take the job or not. So we definitely suggest you guys take the exam. It is free.
We have another question coming in. Can I transfer between housing, transit, and patrol? So obviously you have to take the test to get hired first. And once you're on the job, yes, you can transfer. Remember, your work ethic and your reputation follows you everywhere. So if you want to have those opportunities opened up for you, always work hard and earn that hard-working reputation, and then you can apply to move between one location to the other.
So the most memorable experience of being a police officer, so for me at least, it's going back to the school. I know I spoke about this before. I had an officer who would come to our schools, Officer Cato, and he would speak to us, and ever since then I always wanted to be like Officer Cato. So thankfully, I had the chance of coming to NYPD recruitment. I was one of the lucky people that were chosen to be here. And I actually went back to the same school where Officer Cato spoke to me, and the same classroom. So when you have a full circle experience, that's basically what happened, full circle experience. So I was able to give back what Officer Cato gave to me.
Oh, that's nice.
That's good. So one of my most memorable moments is just being able just to provide and be there to serve the community that I was raised in. I was raised in the Bronx, and fortunately I was able to work in the Bronx as well. Of course you cannot work where you live, but I was still able to work in sort of the same neighborhood, so I was able to give back to the community where I was raised. So it's a good feeling.
Same. I worked in my neighboring precinct, and I was able to do the same. I ended up working in the precinct that covered my high school, and I got to see my old teachers and see, yeah, you see, I graduated. We have another question coming in. I have 94 credits but no degree. Can I still become a cop? Of course, you only need 60 credits to get hired. And as you want to move up in the ranks, then that's when they require more credits. So 94 credits will get you hired.
And don't forget, while you're in the academy, you actually earn credits as well. So that's
Yes,
good,
I believe you get about 32 college credits in the academy.
which is good.
Yes. So the JSD is a job standard test, which is basically a physical exam where you will have to, not a written exam, physical where you will have to run, jump over a fence, and so on. So if you look into our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, we do have a video of a job standard test, which is basically our JSD.
So we do have some automatic disqualifications to become an officer. We actually only have 3. So if you were ever convicted of a felony, convicted of a domestic violence misdemeanor, or you had a dishonorable discharge from the military. That's our only disqualifications. Besides that, guys, you guys can take the test.
So active court cases, yes, you can still take the exam. Like Lieutenant Reed just said, the only disqualifiers are any felony convictions, domestic violence misdemeanor convictions, and dishonorable discharge. So any court cases, yes, take the exam, don't miss it.
Make sure you get the disposition so when you start your process, you already have the paperwork.
Yes.
We have another question coming in. Does a job do drug tests? Yes, we do. You do a drug test to get hired, and we do have drug tests throughout your career. So we have a question coming in. What are the requirements for PAA? They also have a test.
They
Yeah.
do,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
And whenever we have information on their exam, we will post it, okay? All right.
Is being an officer tough? Every job is tough, I'll say that much. But at the same time, it's very, very rewarding to be able to help the community and to be able to assist them on their worst day. Don't forget, guys, people call 911 because it is something bad that they're going through, so it is considered to be maybe their worst day, and we're there to help them. So just being able to be there for the folks that you provide, that you patrol in that area is very, very rewarding.
So take the exam. Remember, the deadline is May 4th. It can be tough, but every job is tough. And you have a strong support system and a strong family, so we're here for you.
Yes, and even with the toughest times, I wouldn't think twice about not being here. So I would be here tomorrow. I would take the test tomorrow and I will go through the process all over again even in today's time.
Absolutely.
So definitely.
Another question coming in. You guys want to answer?
Sure.
have
Can you
tattoos?
have tattoos on your hands? Yes, you can. It is fine. We understand people have tattoos. You just have to disclose to your investigator where those tattoos are, and you're good to go. You can have tattoos.
And once you get hired, they do have to be covered. So you have to wear flesh-colored clothing or a long sleeve shirt to cover whatever tattoos you have.
Yes, what some people do is that they wear like they have these sports bands that are the color of your skin, and they cover the tattoos. So that's a good way to cover them.
So guys, it takes approximately 9 to 12 months to receive your grade from DCAS after you take the exam. So officially, you'll get your grade between 9 and 12 months.
So as far as background, like Chief Madrid stated earlier, in the NYPD, we have about 350 units and counting. So whatever skills you have, you could use it here. We have our own police officers who do social media for the police department and do all the editing, all those videos, fun videos that you see. We have police officers that do that. We have aviation, we have harbor, we have mounted, we have our own lawyers, our legal bureau. So as far as background, I would say just bring anything that you have, any skills that you have, because you could definitely use it here.
But trust,
And the exam is free.
Yeah.
So
Don't be intimidated though. Like I know people are like, do I need to have something? It's always a plus to have those extra skilled backgrounds. But I know I started as a cadet while I was in college, and so did you, Lieutenant Reed. And we really didn't have much of a background. We were very young. And we still came here and did something with ourselves, and we learned along the way. So don't be intimidated. Just because we do have all these units, you can always learn the trade or learn something and then find your niche once you get here. It's okay.
yes, yes. Before I became a police officer. I worked customer service for Delta Airlines, and that was all I did. So I got hired when I was 24. So yeah, I had customer service experience. So I guess it helped me out in the long run.
Definitely did.
so after the exam, after the actual written exam, what's the process? So after that, you're basically just waiting. It's a waiting game to get your results, and then for candidate relations department to actually call you to start your process or actually email you to start your process. So just hang tight.
Oh, we have someone from Buffalo asking, can they take the exam?
Yes, you can. Take the exam, register. When you are hired, you will have 30 days to relocate. But you could take the exam and go through the process from Buffalo. You would just have to commute into the Big Apple, the city of New York, your neighbors down south.
Yeah.
Yes.
Down south to take the exam and go through the process.
So we're actually hiring for PCT as well. So our police technicians, police communications technicians, we're actually hiring for them as well. And the deadline is the same, on May the 4th. So please, guys, register for that exam as well.
Active duty members, thank you so much for your service. We truly appreciate your service. The NYPD loves veterans, and you do not have to take the exam again. If you're currently on a civil service list and you're on active duty, your exam is good. Even if it expires, your list number will be good. You would just have to provide DCAS with the proper documentation, such as your DD 214s and so on.
Well, guys, thank you all. I think we've answered a lot of the questions that have come in. Let me see, do we have another one? Can non-U.S. citizens take the exam?
Yes, you can.
You just have to be a citizen to get hired. Let's see, what else?
As far as specialized units, such as community affairs and so on, as long as you have strong work ethics, good attitude, you're motivated, you can actually get into any unit that you want. It's up to you on your skills and your work ethic. I always tell everybody, you can have every skill in the world, and if your work ethics aren't good, then you do not have a positive, good attitude, it's going to be really tough to get around. So work ethics and positive attitude is everything.
So what is the maximum age to take the test? 34. So prior to your 35th birthday.
Someone's asking, how can we prepare for the NYPD exam?
Come to our tutoring. Come to our tutoring, guys, or online at nypdrecruit.com. We actually have tutorials online as well.
I do know that our tutorials are currently booked.
Yes.
Because they're very popular. But you do have to get into our wait list. We do have a wait list. If you call us at 212-RECRUIT, we'll be more than happy to add you to the wait list. And if someone cancels, we'll definitely call you back to tell you to come in for our tutorial. And also, we're doing registrations for our tutorials. So if you haven't registered for the exam, come to one of our tutorials and we'll be more than happy to register you for the exam.
Someone's asking if we're going to live stream a tutorial session. That's actually in the works, right, guys?
Yes.
Yes, it is. It's in the works.
So once we have more concrete information, you will be the first ones to hear about it. What other questions are, they just keep strolling in.
Yes, all right, so yes, if you pass the age limit to become a police officer, we do have civilian titles. The one that we currently have open is the police communications technician. There's an exam open up until May 4, so make sure you register for that. And there's also other titles that come available, not too often. So if you look at the NYPD Recruit website and you click on civilian titles, you'll be able to see what's currently open.
When are recruiters available to chat? Every day.
Every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every day till Sunday. So
7 days a week.
from 7 a.m.
To 8 p.m.
to 8 p.m.
Okay. So once again, I think we covered just about everything.
Yes.
But again, we wanted to thank Chief Madrid for joining us today.
Absolutely.
It was a very informative Instagram Live.
Yes, definitely. It was very informative hearing his background with community affairs and in Brooklyn and things of that sort. He gave us a good show, so it was really good.
It was definitely and very motivational too, considering that the 127 Penn is in East New York, and I grew up like about 5 blocks from the 127 Penn. So I wish they would have had that back then when I was growing up. It would have been great. So anybody who's interested in the programs, 127 Penn is in 127 Pennsylvania Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. So there's definitely a lot of great programs that they are doing with the community. So before we close off, we want to keep the friends and family of police officers Anastasia Chacos and Officer Mundi, who passed away the past couple of days. Anastasia Chacos was on Highway 3, line of duty death, and it's a really sad story.
Yeah.
And Officer Mundi, who passed away from COVID-19 complications from the 7-7 precinct. So for those of you who are watching us out there, let's keep them in your thoughts and prayers, not today, but always.
Always.
And let's honor their sacrifice to this city.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys
Thank you
so
so
much
much.
for attending. So we'll actually see you guys next Thursday.
Yes, next Thursday. Thank you, everybody.